October 6th, 2024. Mike here. This is part 2 of creating evidence for evidence-based HRSA program as pictured in my playlist. Candida, 2 types. What you're looking at is a lab that specifically indicates 2 forms of Candida, okay? The lab was taken on 10/4/2013, and it clearly indicates Candida dubliniensis. I have a hard time with that one. And then we're going to show you how magically, because the caseworker, the RN, sent me to what? A ENT instead of a gastroenterologist, okay? That's where I should have gone, or I should have gone somewhere for treatment for Candida. I was sent to an ENT, and what does he do? Despite the lab identifying exactly what's wrong with my mouth, he puts burning mouth syndrome and sends it back over to the nurse at this is the primary care nurse now, and now magically Candida dubliniensis just disappears, and now all of a sudden it's just burning mouth syndrome. And what did he send me to? A periodontist. So I think you can see how this works. Okay, they're constantly trying to misdirect and confuse the patient and make the patient look mental. Okay, and here we have, in this case specifically, 10 visits, at minimum 10 visits, and then on the 11th, okay, they finally do a lab. Finally, they do a lab. It comes back positive. It answers the question why Mike, okay, is sick. And you know, the interesting thing is, and if you happen to go to Wikipedia, forget it. Maybe Microbe Wiki, that might work. Yeah. Microbiology resource. Anyways, Candida dubliniensis, okay, has a built-up resistance against azole drugs such as fluconazole. Okay, I can't pronounce it. It's morning here. Without proper identification, certain patients will remain untreated if the wrong drug was distributed. Well, that's exactly what happened to Mike, intentionally, over and over and over and over and over. Nobody did a lab, and after a year, a lab is done, basically, not quite a year. I had symptomology since October 20th, 2012, and so it was 11 months. 11 months. I don't want to be overstating things, but 11 months, about 11 visits, and no lab until October 4th, when I was very sick and was seen by an older doctor, as I had indicated. Matter of fact, the facility well, they got a kind of a little monument to him in front of the facility, okay? So he is renowned, I believe, in the community medicine, family medicine field, okay? Now, what else do we have here? It's green. When they see it, it's a green pathogen. You can actually see green in my photographs of my samples. Yeah, if you look closely, there's green in places, and little green, what looks like crystals, but in actuality, when the specimen dried out, it just shriveled up into like a little hard little. So you know, green is all over the place. Now, when I first saw those pictures, I didn't know what the heck I was looking at. But by the time I became educated, years later, I mean, okay, it is what it is. It's 2 forms of Candida with bacterial inclusions. So we can see that how this was all set up. Now, the question is, if Mike was so freaking delusional, okay, and incapable, that's the other thing. of living life. In other words, to make decisions and all. We're going to be getting into that later. Okay, that's another area you're going to get your asses kicked. Okay, and this is just one segment. I can take a legal team through all of the docs. I can explain what they're doing, why they're doing it, and how they're doing it. You guys are, I mean, you're nailed to the wall. And this is why, I mean, I've issued substantial complaint, valid complaint, credible complaint. And what's happened? Nothing. You people just keep on doing what you're doing, trying to double and triple down, which is typical of this system. Okay? You don't want to admit your mistakes. You don't want to admit your fraud. So let's take another look, shall we, at those two forms that I provided. So we'll end this here with just another quick look at these two docs that clearly explain what Mike is talking about. Now, I can provide you all the medical records, okay, from everybody involved with just this, and it's good. It's quite clear, okay. These two forms are enough to highlight what went on here. How a very sick patient with two forms of Candida tested and found to have them, being treated with a history of no labs, and what makes it all come together is each individual visit is like, okay, but when you look at it as a directed, coordinated, remember, this is a coordinator, and they're doing it to, maintain their evidence-based program and to document, all right, and to steer my treatment and everything per the original assessment. They could not show Mike being sick legitimately and that they were the cause of it. And here we are, evidence. Now I could take you step by step from here all the way forward to today. It's all one consistent whole, okay? Absolutely unfreaking believable that I live in a country where this shit can go down. Literally, okay? That somehow somebody wants to hold me accountable for things. So what do? They create crimes and break every law in the book. Of course, they're doing it apparently lawfully to the people that aren't really, really in tune with their strategies, their techniques, their SOP, okay? How they do things. And I'm going to tell the world about how you do things, okay? Absolutely. Because you know how many people are dangerous? And I'm going to tell you this. All you folks who went along with PEPFAR, I mean, getting the whole government approach thrown in health matters, okay? Oh, well, you got to protect yourselves from people with HIV. I got news for you people. In the age of COVID, everything that's been done, everything that's been built up, okay, for the Part-D programs, for the prisoner releases that are going to be, managed within everything. You're in an open market. What's created is basically an open-air prison. I'm in a prison. They put me in a digital prison and subjected me to these techniques and torture, okay, to fulfill an objective. Now my question is, well, obviously there must have been somebody who was upset about something, okay? Well, they used the system in such a way, it's totally illegal what you've done. Total. Matter of fact, the amount of damages, yeah, you should see the definition of victim and victimization. Right. So you turn me into a mental case. You swoop me off the street, slap the label on me, with evidence, of course. Right. Evidence-based. And we're going to have a discussion. We sure are. At some point, it's not going to be online, what you did from 2010, after April 2010, right, when the Affordable Care Act was signed, that's when all the noticeable weirdness started. Okay? It's the truth. And I can take you back. Once you see it, it's like, holy smokes. And this can be used against anybody at any time, for any reason. The reason might not exist now, but it might in the future. Yes. So everybody thinks, well, as long as I don't do anything wrong, I don't have anything to worry about being surveilled and having all this apparatus installed. The question is, who defines what's wrong, and when is the definition changed, and when is the definition enacted upon? Having something like this that violates somebody's rights and subjects them to the process that I've been subjected to is an exhibit of how dangerous the system is to the entire community. And what blows me away, okay, is how all these people, they're all worried about, justice and all this, and not being abused by the system. I mean, how much have we heard about profiling and rights and the violation of rights and the whole thing? How many? And what are you people doing with this system? You violated me. There must have been at least 30 ways to Sunday in the way you violated me. 30, not 6, 30. And I can explain every single one. And it can be easily exhibited. But no, you slip me off the street, you slap a label on me, you don't tell me what's going on, you automatically start a treatment. There were people in the community already around us, okay? Already around us. As soon as I found out what was going on, Memorial Day 2021, boy, it answered a whole lot of questions. Matter of fact, all the weirdness I experienced, weird stuff, all came to the forefront. There's something wrong with you people, and it needs to be shown to the public and to the community. The community needs to know the kind of crap you pull. This is worse than planting evidence on people. Your evidence-based program is worse than cops planting evidence on people. Literally. I'm just going to shut up now. Honestly, I got a whole lot to say. A whole lot. And I want to say it in court. I want to say it with a legal team. I want you guys to answer for what you've done.